Hi, this is Aline from MasterYourWeb. You're watching HTML tutorial for absolute beginners, and in this tutorial we will cover links. So let's begin. Alright, so question number 1. What is a link? Well, a link is a connection between two websites. As an example, when we Google something and click on an element, we will be redirected to that particular page that we have searched for. That is done through links. And also, remember on the first video in which I said that HTML comes from hypertext markup language? Well, the hypertext comes from those links. Now let's actually see those in action. So the first step is to open the previous project. I have removed the old code in here. Okay, so in order to create a link, we will have the opening tag, then we will write A from anchor tag, then we will write href, and inside of it we will put like a valid link, for instance http google.com, and we close the tag, and inside of it we will write something meaningful, for instance Google website link. Let's try to save it and see what the end result looks like. Okay, so this is our end result. We can see that the text has a totally different formatting. When we click on it, we'll be redirected to the Google page, and that's pretty nice. Another nice feature of the links is the fact that besides linking to an external website, such as Google, we can link to our own files. And for that, we'll go into our new project and we will create another file called HTML tutorial another page, and from this page we will link that file. So let's do that. So the first step is to press Ctrl N so that we create a new file, and then we press Ctrl S to save it, and we will give it the name HTML tutorial another page .html. It's pretty important not to forget about this extension, and hit save. Alright. The next step is to copy the structure of this one and to paste it over here. But basically we will write for now like something like this is another tutorial page. Okay, hit save. And right now we can create another href. But right now what we will do is we will basically add the name of this one. So it's gonna be like HTML tutorial another page.html. We can close the tag and we can write something meaningful, for instance link to another page. Let's try to save it. I'll look into the browser. Okay, so we have link to another page, and if we click it we can see that we are being redirected to another page. Now let's actually try from the another page to make a link so that we will redirect back the user to the first page. And for that we'll create an A, and inside of it we will have like href, and we can see that the Visual Studio Code nicely adds some auto-completion. So we will hit enter on the first one. So HTML tutorial 1.html, and we can write something meaningful as go back to HTML tutorial 1. Let's try to save it. Boom. Alright, so if you click on it, we'll be redirected to the first page, the initial page, and we can basically navigate between those two pages. One use case, which is really important in my opinion, is basically when you have a website which has a menu, and inside that menu we can have different links to our own several pages. That's being used like a lot, and that is done through links basically. Great, now let's get back to our first example. Did you notice that the link is being opened on the same tab? Like when I click on it, it opens on this particular tab, it doesn't create a new tab for that. And that behavior could get annoying. In order to make it open into another tab, we have to use something called an attribute. And an attribute is nothing but a special characteristic of the HTML tags, not just for the href. When it comes to the href, we have a special tag called target. And if we want to open a link into a new tab, we must use the target blank. And for that we will use the following syntax. So we will go into HTML tutorial 1 and what we will add is going to be target is equal to underscore blank. Let's try to save it and see the difference. Or actually, we can copy this, paste it, and remove the target blank. So basically we can see the difference between those of two. And over here we can write Google website link with blank target. Let's try to save it. Okay, so the first link opens it into this tab. If we go into the second one, it basically opens the link into the new tab. Of course that there may be some use cases in which we would like to open the link in that particular tab, but it's nice to know that we have this option as well. Alright, now it's time for our exercise. For that, we have to create two other files. On each file, we should make links to the other ones, and besides that, each page should have also a link to a separate page, for instance, google.com. This is basically going to be the exercise in this video, and we'll see each other in about 15 seconds. Good luck! Alright, 15 seconds have passed, so let's actually solve this together. So for that we'll remove all of the href elements, and remove the hrefs from here as well. So the first thing that we should do is basically create two other files, right? So we actually have one over here, HTML tutorial another page, and let's press Ctrl N again so that we create a new file, and then we save it and we give it a meaningful name, for instance HTML tutorial another page -2.html. Let's try to save it. We will copy the structure of the HTML over here as well. And right now what we will do is start creating anchor tag elements. So the first one is the linking between the HTML tutorial 1 and the HTML tutorial another page. And we've previously done that, so we will do it again. So we will have a href, and you can see how nicely Visual Studio Code adds suggestions. So we will click on this one and we'll write link to another page. Great, let's create a new href. This time is going to be linked to HTML tutorial another page 2, and we will close it and we'll write link to another page 2. Great. And the next thing that we have to do is basically create an external link. And for that I will basically create an href, and I'm gonna link it to google.com. Alright, I'm gonna close it and I will write link to Google. Great. Inside the HTML tutorial another page, we will basically do more or less the same. And we'll start creating a href, and we're gonna go to HTML tutorial 1 and we will write a link to HTML tutorial. We'll create a new one which will link to HTML tutorial another page, link to another page 2, and basically the external tag that we will be referencing is gonna be facebook.com. And we'll write link to Facebook. And last but not least, we will write a href and we'll link to HTML tutorial 1. We will write link to HTML tutorial 1. Then we will create another href, which will be to HTML tutorial another page. We will write link to another page. And last but not least, we will create another href which will point to, let's say, 9gag.com. Okay, link to 9gag. Okay, let's actually see what we have done. All right, so we are on the HTML tutorial 1, and we can go into the another page. Then we can go to another page 2, and then we can go to Google, right? Then from another page 2 we can go to another page, and then to HTML tutorial 1. Alright, and from here we can go to another page and another page too, and also the link to the 9gag. Great, that was all related to the links. On the next episode, we'll see how to add images to HTML. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the content and if you consider that it's at least 1% relevant, then please leave a like, a share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you on the next one.